All right, let's talk about one of the most frustrating parts of English, right? Prepositions. I'm talking about the big three: in, on, and at. Look, if you've ever been totally confused by these, trust me, you are not alone. But hang in there, because today, we're going to make it all click.
So, does this sound familiar? You say in the morning, which, yeah, feels right. But then all of a sudden, it's at night. Why? What's the deal with that switch? It can feel totally random, but I promise you, there is a method to the madness. There's a system here.
Or, okay, how about this one? We meet on Monday, but my birthday is in December. Wait a minute. A day is inside a month, right? So why do we switch the words? These tiny little words can be such a headache, but don't worry. We are about to fix that for good.
Okay, so the first step to taming these prepositions is to figure out what they actually do. The easiest way is to think of them as having three main jobs. And once you see these jobs, all that chaos starts to look, well, a lot more organized.
So here are the big three jobs. First up, position. This is all about where something is. Simple, right? The book is on the table. Then there's direction, which tells you which way something's moving, like he walked to the office. And finally, the big one, the one that trips everybody up, time. This is all about when something happens. And you know what? We're going to zero in on time because that's where the real confusion lives.
All right, you ready? Let's dive into the big one, prepositions of time. Now, there is a super simple trick for this, a little mental model that makes it so much easier, and I guarantee once you see this, you will never forget it. I like to call it the secret triangle. Seriously, this one visual, this is the key. This is going to solve like 90% of your problems with prepositions of time. Get ready.
And boom, here it is, the inverted triangle of time. Just picture a triangle flipped upside down. The whole idea is that we move from general, or broad, down to super specific. So at the very top, the widest part, you've got in, for these huge chunks of time. Then in the middle, we narrow it down with on, which is for days. And at the very bottom, that sharp little point, that's at, for pinpointing an exact moment. See? General to specific, in, on, at. So let's start at the top of our triangle with in. Think of in as being for the big buckets of time, these large containers. We use it for years, right? Like in 2025. We use it for months, in December. For seasons, in summer. And even for big parts of the day, like in the morning. You see the pattern? These are all really broad time frames.
Okay, now let's move down to the middle of the triangle. Here we find on. We use on when we start to zoom in to get more specific. We're talking about single days now, so on Monday. A specific date, on December 21st. Or special days, like on my birthday. We've basically gone from a big bucket, like a whole month, and zeroed in on one specific square on the calendar.
And finally, we land right on the sharp, pointy tip of the triangle, at. This is for the most precise, the most specific points in time you can imagine. We're talking clock time, at 7 o'clock, at 10:30 a.m. And for those really specific moments, like at noon or at the moment, it is the ultimate laser pointer of time.
Okay, pretty cool, right? Now that you've got the time triangle locked in your brain, let's go back and knock out the other two jobs, place and direction. And the good news is they follow simple patterns that are just as easy to grasp. When it comes to place, the secret is all about visualization. Ask yourself, am I thinking of this location as a specific point on a map? Or is it a flat surface? Or is it an enclosed space that something can be inside of? Because that's the whole trick. At is for a point. On is for a surface, and in is for an enclosed space. Let me show you what I mean. You'd say, I'll meet you at the airport. You're treating the whole airport as just one general meeting point. But your office is on the 5th floor because a floor is a flat surface, and hopefully your keys are in your bag, inside an enclosed space. See? Point, surface, space. It actually makes perfect sense when you think of it that way. All right, let's talk direction. There are two words that trip people up all the time, to and towards, but the difference is actually really simple. To means that's your final destination. You are going to arrive there. I'm going to the station. But towards just tells you the direction of your movement. You might be walking towards the station, but then you see a coffee shop and, well, you might never actually get there. It's a similar deal with into versus onto. Into is all about moving from the outside to the inside of a 3D enclosed space. Think about putting a letter into an envelope.
But onto is for moving to a position on top of a surface. The cat jumped onto the sofa. Hey, look at that! It's that same idea of an enclosed space versus a flat surface, just with movement.
Of course, because this is English, there have to be a few traps, right? There are always exceptions to the rules. The good news is, you just have to memorize them, and once you know what they are, you can sidestep them like a pro.
Okay, pay close attention here. These are the exceptions you just got to know. Getting these right is a huge step towards sounding truly fluent. So here are the big ones. For time, remember it's in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. But, and this is a big but, it's always at night, at midnight, and at noon. And hey, that answers that question from the very beginning, right? And the other mouse-of rule to remember. If you see the words next, last, this, or every, you use no preposition at all. You just say, see you next Monday. Never, ever see you on next Monday.
Whew, okay. So we've gone through the rules, the mental models, and those tricky exceptions. Let's wrap this all up into a quick guide that you can use anytime you get stuck. All right, time for a little pop quiz. You ready? My birthday is blank, May. So, using our time triangle, which preposition goes in there? Think about it. Is May a broad chunk of time, a specific day, or a sharp pinpoint moment?
You got it, right? Of course, it's in. My birthday is in May. And the best part is, now you know exactly why. May is a month, it's a big, broad period of time, which puts it right at the top of our inverted triangle. It just makes sense now, doesn't it?
So here's what I want you to take away from all this. It's your simple 3-step preposition check. Step 1, just ask yourself, is this about time, place, or direction? Step 2, if it's time, picture that inverted triangle. Go from broad to specific. And step 3, if it's place, just think, is it a point, a surface, or a space?
And that's really it. You now have the core mental models you need to finally master in, on, and at. What felt like chaos before is now a clear, logical system. So, the only question I have for you is, now that you've got the tools, which preposition are you going to go out and practice using first?